All right, so BB40 back with another video. Been meaning to get this one done for a couple of days now. This is just a new friend who contacted me on one of my videos, and we met up in the game. So they did an update on bosses. They added 3 big bosses. The Necro Summoner that spawns a ring of zombies. The Venomous Wretch also spawns a ring of big boomer zombies, big green ugly boomer zombies, and the Mecha Zombie. So they also added a hard mode. They increased difficulty in hard mode. They reduced the diameter of the healing stations for the medic. They, um, leaderboards, but they're only weekly and monthly leaderboards. So, I mean, if you get on one, take a picture and save it because you won't be on there for too long. So you have to do it all over again, which I don't know if it's a good deal or not. Before we used to have issues with Zombie Rush, with all the hackers would get on the leaderboards, and we couldn't wait till they got reset so we can get rid of all the damn hackers. So, but I mean, leaderboards give you some incentive to try to play the game and try to get as high as you can. It's the amount of waves you survive and the amount of zombies that you kill are the 2 leaderboards that are in the game now. They did an update on this. I don't know. I'm not sure which class has the sniper turret, but they made it stronger. Healing stations they made smaller, but still heal pretty good, which you'll see in this run we're going to do here. Glitch zombies. I don't think I even seen anywhere. I don't think they're even in this game. That's weird. The glitch zombies. I mean, there's a special zombie that's in Zombie Mayhem and Tower of Zombies or other 2 games, but I didn't even notice them in this game. It's just weird. Unless they're the really big ones. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to be the medic, and my friend here is going to be the demolitionist. And it's the best combination you can do if you go in with other players. You got to have at least one medic anyway. So the medic can run around and drop healing stations and keep everything alive, keep everything going. When we started this, the highest regular weekly and the monthly was both $8.99. But it was weird because when we came out, we had done 1,202 or 1,201. We went over 1,200 waves, and we thought we had the top 1 and 2 spots. But then we got out and we looked, and someone else had done $14.99. In the time that we were doing 1,200 waves, someone else did 1,500 waves. So it was this actually is a pretty active and busy game. But if you go in there now and look, I looked today. I went back in solo. I'm not going to do a video on it. I recorded it, my solo run yesterday, and I took the top spot at 5864 for regular mode. But I looked at hard mode, and there's some crazy person that went 13,000 waves. In hard mode. I haven't even tried hard mode yet, so I can't imagine. But the game was broken, and my next video I'm going to do after this one is going to show you how broken the game was. And I let the developer know how broken it was, and he said he was going to fix it. So I don't know if he's done it yet, but if he hasn't, you can really take advantage of it right now, because I could have kept going and going and going nonstop. Everything just shut down. What was happening is the Venomous Wretch, in the other games, in Zombie Mayhem and Tower of Zombies, the Venomous Wretch spawns these little black racer guys. But in this game, they changed it to where it spawns a ring of these larger green boomers. So, and what had happened, and I'm going to show that in my next video, but what had happened, if you get up past like wave 1,500 or so, the boomers take over. These green boomers just take over the map. They just keep spawning. The venomous wretches just keep spawning and spawning. So the zombies, the bosses come out. The first 3, it's every 50 waves. And wave 50, 100, and 150, you only get 1 boss. And it's like each one takes a turn. And then after that, it's 2 bosses for, I think, 200 and 250. But after that, it's 3 bosses all the time, I believe. But we'll see here as we go through this. I don't remember exactly. So by the time you get to wave 1,500 or higher, what happens is the Venomous Wretch keeps spawning these rings of the boomers. And the zombies all get, especially the boomers, start to get too strong to kill. It takes a long time to kill them. So in the process, the regular zombies that you're seeing now, these normal zombies and the crawlers and the ghost zombies and the static zombies with the TV heads and all these other zombies, the brutes and the boomers, the regular boomers, which are smaller than these new ones, and the wizards, all the different ones that come out, they end up getting, when they die, they don't get replaced because the boomers are taking over all the slots for all the zombies. You only get so many zombies out at one time. And if you turn on auto skip, which we just turned on for this run here, there will be a maximum number of zombies that'll come out. And I think I don't know what it is exactly. It could be 100 zombies. But you won't get another zombie till you kill one. When you kill a zombie, another one spawns. That's when you hit the maximum. So what had happened is all the zombies that were getting killed, the regular zombies in the game, were getting replaced with boomers. So these big green boomers just completely took over the map. And it's crazy. I did a short video if you want to check that out on how crazy it looked. And it really was crazy. It got so bad. There was so many. There was not a single square foot of area that was not covered with a boomer. Down below. I was up on the top, this top level up here, and the boomers could not get up there for some reason. They just stopped coming up the ramp. I don't know why they stopped and couldn't get up the ramp. I think it had to do with there was so many boomers. I mean, I would not be exaggerating if I said there was like 5,000 boomers out there by the time I finished my run. And there was so many of them, they created such lag that they couldn't move. Nothing was moving except me. I could still run around. But the boomers were stuck. So anyway, for this game here, we communicated a little bit through texting. It's always better if you can voice chat with somebody in Discord or something. But the messages got through. So before we went in, I said, "Why don't you set up along the edge of the building, and I'll set up to cover the ramp." So he's setting up there, but then I sent him a message say, "Hey, stop bringing your turrets down toward me along the side," which he did. And from that corner, he pretty much took over that corner, and I took over this corner down here and blocked the ramp coming up. So, and anytime it got to a point where the zombies seemed to be overwhelming either his turrets or mine, I would drop a healing station. So, but what I'm going to try to find here is I want to get a spot in between his turrets and my turrets to drop healing stations. Now, if we were going to do this again, what I would recommend is that he set up you get the demolitionist to set up over on this side over here. And as the medic, I want to set up on the opposite side. We got to block off these ramps. You really got to cut off the zombies coming up the ramps, because they are such a pain in the butt when they're on top of the deck up here. You're always having to shoot them, and the other guys are coming up the ramps. So eventually, it took about 250 waves for me to say, hey, let's build some, drop some barricades, and work our way over to the other side and block off that other side, which is what we eventually did. And when we got that done, things went pretty smooth. It turned out, we didn't realize in this game here that the boomers were starting to take over, those green boomers, and you'll see those when we get the first bosses coming out. So like I said, it's every 50 waves. So wave 50, we'll see our first boss. So the boomers were starting to take over in this run here, and you'll see it at the end of this run. They were not coming up the ramps hardly at all anymore, and we pretty much were just sitting pretty, we had nothing to worry about. I didn't even have to drop any healing stations anymore, because we covered up every spot up here in the deck. You see the zombies spawning in the deck? We had every spot covered with a barricade or one of my buff towers. We just placed them over the top of the spawns, and that stops the zombies from spawning up through the deck. And it worked well. when we get this all laid out and get it all finished. It worked out really well. So this is what I recommend. You can scroll ahead if you want to. You can see I'll be skipping a lot of this because we were in there for over 3 hours. We did 1,200 waves. It was like 3.5 hours. So I cut a lot of that out to save time, so this video wouldn't be too long. I think it's 30 minutes as it is. I cut 3.5 hours down to 30 minutes. So you see, I've got and I told them to bring some of your mortar turrets over here on the ramp, top of the ramp, so you can drop them over the side of the ramp over here and kill the zombies down there, and that worked out really well. Got one straight turret on the right here, you can see. That was just to cover up a zombie spawn. They were spawning right there, right next to my turrets. So we'll just keep skipping ahead, and you'll be seeing every now and then, you'll see that our arrangement of turrets like this right here is just gotten bigger. So I dropped a couple of buff towers over by him so that he could have the speed and the extra strength in his gun. So I just dropping buff towers around the place. So I'm gonna tell him, say, hey, we need to. You can see how the zombies are just coming up in hordes up the other side over there. We've got to work our way over there and cut that off. So here comes the boss. You know, I didn't even see the first boss that came up in wave 50. It was kind of behind me, and I was more paying attention to all the zombies across the way because this is the first time I play with the bosses. And what happens, I did the same thing after this guy. When we get two bosses, I'm sitting here shooting the one across the way, trying to kill him or her, venomous wretch there. You see those big green boomer guys? I mean, they're about as big as the big brute zombies. Those are the guys that are being spawned by this venomous wretch. And those are the ones that pretty much took over the entire map. So I ended up getting knocked because I wasn't paying attention to the boss behind me. And he was shooting me, and I didn't even realize it. Because sometimes they'll fire and you won't even see the explosion. You won't even see their shot coming at you. Now right here, this is coming up on wave 150. So we're going to get another spawn of bosses. And it's only one boss, it looks like, coming up. This is the third one. So you get one boss each, you know, wave 50, wave 100, wave 150. So I'm just so focused on all these zombies coming up the other side. I'm not used to the bosses yet. I wasn't really paying attention to him. But again, he's coming up behind me. And I didn't even see him. I wasn't even paying attention to him. So I learned my lesson here to keep an eye out and keep track of the bosses because I didn't even know they were there. And he got me. So after he drops the boss here, he comes running over and revives me over here. But that was the one and only time I went down. So after that, I paid a lot more attention to what's going on. I didn't notice at the very top. If you look at the very top, you see the wave number 198. To the left of it, it shows you which bosses are going to spawn next and how many waves till they spawn. They're going to get one more wave. We're at 199 right now. So wave 200, you get two bosses. So I noticed that, started to pay attention to it. So I was always looking around and say, where, I got to know where both bosses are from now on. I can't just ignore the other one and just focus on one. You got to keep your eye, you know, look all around you to know where they are all the time because they do come up behind you. And it's not very often. Like this one just spawned right here on the upper deck. I did another run and I don't think I saw a boss spawn on the upper deck the entire time out of 5,000 waves. And it's just, this time it did. I don't know, it's just an odd thing that it spawned up here. So, but anyway, the other guy is still down here. He's not really in range of being able to hit me, but I decided to shoot him while, and I dropped a healing station. So, and that's one thing I did in my solo run that I'm going to do a video on, is every boss round, every 50 waves, is I would try to plan on dropping a healing station around that time so that if the boss was striking me from somewhere and I didn't notice, I'd still be healed to protect myself. So yeah, the demolition, he ended up, gosh, I ended up with over 900,000 Zombucks from this run, doing 1,200 waves. And he got like 2.5 million zombucks. The demolition is definitely the way to go if you want to get more and more zombucks. It kills the zombies faster, especially if you have it all fully upgraded to 5 stars, if you can do that. It is the best class for earning zombucks. Whereas the medic is the class that makes it possible to go past 1,000 waves. So, and if you can put the two together, you have a very good winning combination. So, but these guys here, one thing I noticed is this is the mecha zombie, the red one. They tend to just come right up on the deck. They'll come right up that ramp and get right out here and then stomp on your turrets. The other two seem kind of reluctant to come up the ramps. They have a hard time getting up the ramps. And they rarely, if ever, step out onto this upper deck up here. So, but that mecha zombie boy, he'll come right out there. And I kind of like that he comes out because then my turrets can kill him. I don't have to focus my shooting at him so much. My turrets help out a lot. So this is where I start to suggest, hey, we need to block that other side over there. We need to start working our way over. So I'm going to start dropping some of my. You notice they changed it from buff tower. If you look at the right, the yellow square where they show the buff tower, it's now called the buff barricade. That's different. That's something new. Healing station still healing station, and pulse turret still a pulse turret. It's another good thing about the medic is that these pulse turrets will push the zombies back. They'll push the zombies away. Whereas all the other classes, the turrets don't push them back. So, but this is one of the other advantages of using the medic. You just push the zombies back. So he's been earning so much money. You can see all his turrets all the way across here. He's just been from killing so many zombies. So he's following suit here. We're trying to get our barricades up here and block the zombies. And once we get them, comfortably blocked, then we can start laying down turrets over here too and start fighting them on this side. The back side behind us, we didn't have to worry about it anymore. We had so many turrets over there and so many demolition turrets and medic turrets that it didn't matter. I didn't have to keep an eye on it because they were killing everything coming up the ramp. So we could focus all our attention. Now, one other dumb thing I did as I kept running up here and I almost died again. Like 2 or 3 times I didn't realize that I did not increase my health. I got to increase my health. You got to remember to do that early on. So that's what I'm doing right now. I just bumped it up to 250 health, about 225. So I wouldn't. It would increase my chances of surviving getting out in the middle of these zombies right here. So he's using his scythe, I believe. I haven't used melee very much. It does come in handy sometimes, I noticed, because it ends up pushing the zombies back. If you need to push it back, so he's like knocking it back pretty good with that scythe. So I may actually start doing that sometimes, just to keep the zombies away, keep them back. We're gonna get a few more barricades laid down here and some turrets to start fighting these guys on this side. That's what I'm going to be doing next, is putting down some of my. So I got a few, not a lot yet, but I got a few buff turrets, or pulse turrets, because I'm not getting the money that he is, and I need to save my money. The one thing you got to do as the medic, as the healing person in the team, whatever team you go in with, you got to save up enough money to pay for the healing stations. You got to have enough money, and typically I would say if you want to make it to like 3,000 or 4,000 waves, you're going to need at least $200,000 by the time you get to wave 200. And we're already past wave 200, and I only got 77,000. The one thing that saves us, and the one thing that makes this possible to go a long way in this game now, is the fact that the bosses here give you a lot of money, and they keep adding like 500 zombucks every time they come out. So I think the first time we killed them, it may have been 5,000 zombucks and $5,000. And we're up to, see, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth. This is the sixth time that we're going to kill them. So we're up to like $8,000, I believe. We'll see when we drop one here how much money it says it gives us. And that extra money really came in handy. By the time we got to wave 1200, when everything was flowing smoothly, I had over $500,000, and he had probably $1.5 million. So that's mostly from killing the bosses and not having to use my healing stations very much. When we get up to, we got $9,000 that time, $9,000. It must have started off at $6,000, because I believe it goes up 500 every time. Or I remember seeing 7,500, so I know it goes up 500 every time. But anyway, if you get both sides blocked, and you can keep the zombies at bay, keep them from coming up, then you don't have to drop a healing station, because they won't be damaging your turrets or your barricades. So now this guy here, the Venomous Wretch, I believe the Mecha Zombie has the least amount of health. You generally can kill him the quickest. And the Necro Summoner is the next weakest or strongest. And then the Venomous Wretch is the strongest. It seems to take a lot more shots to kill the Venomous Wretch. So I'm over here dropping healing stations, which I don't think I really need to. So we're getting near the end here. We're up to 1150. And I'm just going to run this out, I think, to wave 1200 when we quit. You see now we've got the entire deck covered. Practically every spot is covered, because we were getting so much money that, you can see I've got $622,000, almost $623,000. And that's mostly from killing these guys and not having to drop healing stations much anymore. Healing stations only cost me $1,400, which is not too bad. But we're up past level wave 1000, and only paying $1,400 for a healing station is a pretty good deal. So this is that Mecha Zombie, the red one that I tell you about. He just comes right up that ramp and comes right at you. See, the other two are just hanging back there. And as I was saying, the good thing about him coming right up and getting on the upper deck is my turrets can take him down, which they did. The turrets did most of the damage. And you'll see how long it takes. I cut a lot of this out because it was taking so long to drop these other guys. I got to look into the game to see what other weapons can be purchased that have a lot more damage than the minigun. Because you get past wave, probably just past like wave 700 or 800. That minigun just loses its strength. It just does not have what it takes to drop the zombies or the bosses anymore. It would definitely benefit any player to get a gun that's much stronger than the minigun. And I've got it, you can see on the left, my minigun has 5 stars. It's fully upgraded. I upgraded as much as you possibly could. And it's still not strong enough at these high waves to bring down these bosses or the zombies. It just takes forever. I don't know where my partner is. I think he's AFK for the minute, or he's doing something else on the other side. Maybe he's killing another boss on the other side. Oh, we only dropped 2. Killed the red one first, and then the Necro we did second. Just the Venomous Wretch is left here. But, I'm just non-stop firing, and it's barely causing any damage. It's a lot of damage, but compared to how much health that thing has, it's like a scratch. It's just taking forever. So, but anyway, you can see the layout of I put as many pulse turrets over here as I could near the entrances to try to kill the zombies or hold them, push them back, keep them from coming up the ramps. And it seemed to work pretty well. He's got, we just ran out of space. There was really not another square foot where you could really lay down another turret. All the other spaces were just not quite wide enough to drop any more turrets anywhere. We didn't really space them out quite accurately. And there's a trick to doing it. If you get yourself lined up properly, and then you hit the Z key to drop a deployable turret or something, then you can keep a good even spacing. You can see I tried to do that with my pulse turrets over here on the left, the blue ones. Seems like a pretty good formation. But his demolition turrets were pretty good out toward the outer edge there, but then just kind of got random all over the place. So if you want to get the most bang for your buck, you want to try to space them as best you can. Good equal spacing, so you don't waste any space and you can drop as many turrets as possible. Now there is some open space here, but it's just too far away from everything to do any damage. So, and plus we seem to have enough to where it's actually doing what we want it to do. So this is 1150. Get 3 more, and that's, you get the same 3 bosses. And I tell you, you'll see this in my next video when I show you the major glitch in the game from the venomous wretch boomers that it spawns. I had probably at least 20 bosses out at once out on the deck. I just couldn't kill them all. It was impossible. So what I did is I focused on the red ones first, because the red ones come right up on the deck, and the turrets really help you take down the red ones quicker than the other. The other ones, they just hang back. It takes a long time to kill them. So, but I ended up clearing out all of the red ones. So there was probably about at least a dozen, if not more. The venomous wretches was the ones I was not killing because of the spawning they were doing, spawning those boomers and glitching out the game. And I think I only had about 2 or 3 of the necro summoners left over at the end of my next run. But in this one, we killed them all. We wanted to kill them because we wanted to get the money. I wanted to keep getting more and more money from my health stations, but we decided to quit at 1200. It was getting late for me, and we hadn't played together before, and I didn't know if he had any kind of auto clicker where we could just set it and walk away for the night or the day. I offered to do that if he wanted to keep running, but he didn't want to keep going. He wanted to quit too. He had things to do. So anyway, we were happy with 1200 waves, and yeah, we pretty much stayed for the 3.5 hours it took to do this. I mean, yeah, we didn't walk away and set any auto clickers or anything. We just stayed in the game and kept it going. And we just decided to quit at 1200. So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys checking this out. This is probably still good. This entire strategy we did right here will still work right now. The next video I'm going to do is going to show this major glitch. I made the developer aware of it in the Discord server. They don't have a Discord server yet for Zombie Rush Survival, so people talk about it in their Tower of Zombies. Just go to the Tower of Zombies page on Roblox, and you'll see the Discord link if you scroll down on the About page, and that'll take you to Tower of Zombies Discord server. And they talk about, obviously, Tower of Zombies in there, but lately it's been more this game, Zombie Rush Survival. This is their newest game that they just released, I think, back in March or April. So anyway, yeah, we decided we want to reset at 1200, so we just went ahead and reset. So anyway, I appreciate you guys checking this out. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Try it with a partner. And the next video I'm going to do will actually show you what to do if you go in solo with the medic. How much? Check that out. I should hopefully have it done in a day or 2. But thanks again. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with friends. And catch me in the next one. Thanks. Bye.